I'm Dr. Larry Burchett. I'm an ER doctor. I wrote this outstanding book, The Gentleman's Diet. Before you even get into the calories and the carbs and the macros and what you have to do to lose weight or to gain muscle, which is in this book, instead, in the first 4 chapters, it's all about what I call authentic motivation, which really means a couple things to me. Number one, that you need to start with what you want, what's important to you, with your values and your vision for your life. When I was first a doctor and I graduated medical school and I had my own patients, I thought that people would come into my office and I could just say, "Doctor hath said lose weight." And I would tell people, "Hey, you need to lose some weight." And they would go, "Oh, okay." And then they would come back in 6 weeks or whatever, and they had like put on 5 pounds. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm the doctor. I told you to lose weight. But obviously it didn't work. And so since then, I have been really interested to figure out, how can you motivate people? How can I help them to really take care of themselves, to have better health, to lose that weight, to get into that great shape? And a lot of us are really disconnected from what we really want. We're just not paying attention to it. We're too distracted with life and our phones and all this stuff going on to pause and ask ourselves what we really want and what's really important to us. Or maybe we don't believe that it's possible. So in this book, the first 4 chapters, I kind of lay out how you do that. The first thing is, you start up here with an idea of what you want to look like, how active you want to be, maybe the kind of confidence you want to have, all of that. You fill in that picture. So very different, tapping into that versus doctor says you have to lose weight, right? Like nobody wants to hear that. You feel shame, you feel bad. So starting with that image of what truly is possible. And then step 2, which is in the book, is taking that vision and being very specific about what it means. So it might mean a certain weight, might mean a body fat percentage, it might mean being able to bench press, squat, or deadlift a certain amount of weight. It might mean being able to hike a 5-mile hike of whatever elevation. It might mean running a 5 or 10K in a certain time. You translate that into specific goals and maybe some measurements like weight, body circumference, maybe the size of your biceps or your chest. I mean, there's a way to quantify this so that you can start to ask your brain, how can I get that? And then you engage and you start practically answering that question. Well, let me try eating this. If I want to lose weight, let me have a 500 a day calorie deficit. Let me eat a little less than I'm eating now, and give it a couple weeks, a month, and see what happens, and then tweak it and adjust. So you have your vision, you translate it to specific goals, you lay down a plan to go get those goals, right? This is basic goal setting. But here's the special sauce out of all of it. You have to get into this sense of value and mission and what's really important to you. What are you doing here on this planet? I mean, that stuff sounds intense, especially for those moments where you're like, I don't know, I'm depressed. I don't know what I'm here to do. That's great. Then you get to experiment and find out what you like, what you're interested in, what you're passionate about. And if you know those things, then it's just a matter of looking within and feeling that and harnessing that energy and connecting it to these goals of health and bodies. And that stuff is so much more powerful. That's why I wrote the first 4 chapters on this, because I felt like most of the people, the first thing that I would do with them is find that thing and connect with that before we even started talking about the diet. Why do you want to do this? How can you take that vision of what you want, translate it into some very specific measurable goals, and then pause for a moment and ask yourself, God, what's really important to me? How does this connect intimately to my mission, to my purpose, to what I'm doing here on this planet? You take that vision and those goals and connect all that with your big why. That is the special sauce. Sit down and try that. In this book, there's a workbook that walks you through these steps and gives you more details. Check this out on Amazon. And check things out on the website, drlarry.com, and the YouTube channel. Subscribe to that stuff, where I go into more detail about how exactly to do this, to kind of light your fire, to pull that natural, authentic motivation that just compels you toward this body, this life, these things that you really